Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a quick look at weather next week to 10 days in today's video. We'll also have a look at CFS V2 for the next month. This takes us into the start of April just about, can you believe. I've got a bit of a painful neck today, so I'm going to try and whistle through everything as quick as I possibly can to keep the video a little bit shorter. We're going to start off with a couple of pictures that have been sent through from Liam in Maidstone. And this is rather rare mammatus clouds. They're associated with heavy downpours and thunderstorms, these kind of clouds. They indicate sort of downdrafts going on in the atmosphere. You normally get with thunderstorms, so quite rare to get that. I think they're taking up a weekend, quite rare to get that in March. Normally it's sort of thing you would associate with summer clouds when you have thunderstorms, particularly after thunderstorms, but it can occur before thunderstorms as well. So thanks to Liam for sending those pictures through. Remember, if you've got any pictures that you'd like featuring in the videos, you can get them to us by two ways. You can post them in the comment box at Gazweathers, or you can, excuse me, email them to Gazweathers at gmail.com. We're always happy to feature the pictures in the videos. Thank you to Liam for sending those through to us. Right, the GFS ensembles are looking like this. We've still got uncertainty for next week. Can you believe it? It's getting closer day by day, but still a lot of uncertainty about what's happening. The red line here is a 30-year temperature average in terms of the upper air temperatures. We're going to be above average for the rest of this week, so going to be turning increasingly mild. By the end of the week, we could probably see temperature to mid-teens Celsius. After that, a bit cooler into the weekend, and then beyond that, still this same old story, loads of scatter. We've got several members of the GFS ensembles that are looking very mild, several members that are still looking really quite cold indeed. So basically your guess is as good as mine as to what's going to happen through the course of next week. I suspect, because of the way this winter's gone, the chances are that we will probably keep it fairly mild. But we can see that while these cold outliers or cold members, they're not really outliers because there's several of them, while these cold members of the GFS ensembles are still there, we can't rule out the prospect of a significant cold snap through the middle part of March, albeit it's a reducing probability. Precipitation is drying up actually, so that's the one trend that is starting to stand out. Unsettled weather coming through the rest of this week and some through the weekend, but into next week I think I've got a bit of a drying trend appearing there. So high pressure I think is going to be getting more influential again through the course of next week. But whether that high pressure gets into a position to deliver cold weather or whether it's going to deliver mild weather, I think that's where the uncertainty is with the model output at the moment. Temperature anomalies for the next week, the 7th to the 15th of March, coming out mild and average, but notice Scandinavia has turned cold. They had a very mild winter, but it's turned a lot colder there. Now, the precipitation anomaly looks like this. Near normal, it is turning drier. These have been indicating wet and average conditions since the start of March. These are trending drier, although eastern parts still coming out a little bit wet and average. But notice it is starting to turn drier, particularly so in the south and the west. Here's the GFS for Saturday, bringing low pressure in off the Atlantic. So it's going to be an unsettled weekend. Not desperately wet. I think sort of gently unsettled probably best describes the weather over the weekend. Notice it is all driving in from off the Atlantic. Then into the early part of next week, the Azores high is starting to ridge up. So we are getting a ridge there from the Azores high over towards another area of high pressure across Central Europe. I think it's this high pressure just here that's creating the uncertainty. If that high pressure is up there, then it could get wind into the east, and that's what the cold ensemble members are seeing, I think. However, with this area of high pressure around the Azores and to west of Biscay, I think it makes it a lot harder to get high pressure up to Scandinavia, because what tends to happen is that you'll just get two areas of high pressure forming a ridge rather like that. And then we go through into the middle part of next week. Again, you see high pressure is trying to build through the country. There's probably some sort of trough coming down across the UK there, bringing some showers. But essentially, quite a bit of high pressure still. And then into Thursday, which is the 16th of March, going into the second half of the month, we begin to move this trough down from the north and the west, and then the ridge is building again. Notice the high pressure is still up there over Scandinavia, or it is moving up towards Scandinavia. So again, that's where the uncertainty is. The way this ridge here interacts with this ridge here. Do we stay on the mild side of those ridges and bring up the air from the southwest? Or do we get onto the cold side ridges, which is generally to the south and the east of these ridges, and that brings the air in from the east? That's where the uncertainty is within the GFS ensembles and the reason there is so much turmoil going on. This winter we have tended to always be on the mild side of the ridges. We're into spring now, but I don't really see any reason why that scenario should change. So I suspect we probably will keep it generally mild and keep that cold air at bay to the south and the east of us. But we'll wait and see how it pans out. This is the ECMWF. Again, low pressure's moving in off the Atlantic over the weekend. So it does look like an unsettled weekend. It won't be a washout, but there will be some rain at times, particularly so for the north and west. There comes the high pressure ridging from the southwest. We've also got the high pressure developing over Scandinavia as well. And this looks like it's got a better chance, actually, of getting the wind into the east. This takes us into Thursday, 16th of March, where we have got quite a significant area of high pressure over Scandinavia. We have got this ridge down to the southwest, which complicates things a lot. So this is a real sort of let battle commence type situation, with westerlies trying to come in off the Atlantic, easterlies trying to come in around that Scandinavian high pressure area. We finish up on day 10, which is Friday 17th of March. It looks like the high pressure over Scandinavia is just about winning this. It's still there, and it looks like it has more or less got the winds into the east. However, this is still a very strong ridge that we've got down across the Azores. The westerlies are still pretty strong as well. So I would suspect it wouldn't take too long before the westerlies from the Atlantic sort of overpowered this ridge and moved the milder air back in off the Atlantic. But for a time, at the end of next week, the ECMWF does get there in terms of colder weather. So it really is very, very uncertain still where things are going for the middle part of March. My hunch, because of how things have gone this winter, is that we'll keep it mild generally, but there is a possibility that we could get things cold into the middle part of the month. Finally, the CFS for the next month. So these are 500 millimeter heights, taking us out into weekly periods. The first week period takes us from the 7th through the 13th of March. We've got the ridge down to the south and extending through the UK as well. So there will be, we know this, there's a drying trend coming up, particularly next week. There will be increasing amounts of ridginess. This is all very good to get things cold. Lots of red up there, which is high pressure to our north, but of course this high pressure down to the south and the southwest is the complicating factor, because again, with this high pressure to the north is trying to bring the cold air in from north and east, but this high pressure to the south is dragging up mild air off the Atlantic. So really it's a battleground scenario. Now the CFS has that high pressure over Scandinavia winning the battle. So the week from the 14th to the 20th of March does have the ridge over Scandinavia winning the battle. We would get winds into the east. That would probably be quite cold. Remember, it's the middle part of March, so it's not going to be as cold as if it was January, but it might be enough to produce wintry showers, particularly so in the east. So the CFS does have that high pressure over Scandinavia winning the battle. It's still there, actually, as we go through into week 3, which is the 21st through to the 27th of March. I think the winds are still more or less coming from the east, maybe a little bit more of a southeasterly component, so might be lifting the temperatures up a little bit then. Won't take much to start to lift the temperatures up now, of course, in the second half of March. And then this is definitively much milder. We go through to 28th of March through to the 3rd of April. The ridge is in Central Europe then, and so we're just bringing up the air from south. That could be a very pleasant spell of spring-like weather there right at the very end of March and into the start of April. So we do have the possibility of some colder weather through the middle part of March. I doubt it'll last all that long. If it does come off, it may not come off. We may stay quite mild in through the middle phase of March. And then the idea is that later in March, we probably turn things quite a lot milder. Right, that's it for now. I think I've gone on long enough, so that's all for now. And thanks for watching. Hopefully, I'll be able to get all of tomorrow's videos done, 5-day forecast, and maybe also looking at next week's 10 days as well. Depends how the net is, but that's it for now. Thanks for watching.